everybody, I'm Connor, I'm 27 years old, and I am very quickly becoming a wannabe cyclist. At the same time, I'm also becoming a wannabe YouTuber. This is my second time recording this video after some much needed feedback from my girlfriend. So how did we get here? Cycling was actually last on my list of endurance sports. I was a runner, I loved to run. Running just didn't really love me back. So for the last 2 years, I've had little nagging injuries that have resulted in me not running much at all, especially this year. Haven't run almost at all in the last 6 months. That had me so fed up that I tried swimming. I had done a little bit of swimming before. I grew up in a town on the lake, but I was never on any teams or anything. I did do a triathlon many moons ago that required me to get in the pool, but I really gave it up after that. Same thing kind of happened here. I got 2 months in and just was dropping off the radar for me. I appreciate swimming. Swimming is very difficult, but I'm not a huge fan of hopping in the pool first thing in the morning. I also just like to breathe whenever I want to breathe, and swimming doesn't really let you do that. We're gonna get on the move. Maybe down there. That's where we were, way up there. Yeah, so here I was left with this running-shaped hole in my life, and swimming couldn't fit it. I went so far even that I golfed. My girlfriend and I golfed every weekend for like the last year, but nothing was quite scratching the itch. I still didn't have that endurance. I think I liked the high, and so I gave in to cycling. I've been a bike commuter for the last 4 years. I live in San Francisco. As you may or may not be able to tell, this is not San Francisco. I'm on a work trip right now. You'll see more about this in later videos. But yeah, I had been a bike commuter for the last 4 years. That really got me up to speed on biking in the city, what it feels like to be on a bike, how to be on the road. And it also meant that I already had a bike. Living in San Francisco, very bike-friendly place. Maybe friendly is the wrong word. There's a big bike culture in San Francisco. Lots of people commute by bike. There's definitely all these like underground or not so underground groups that I'm not cool enough to know about at this point in time. Riding around the city all the time. With my comfort on the bike higher than it had ever been, I started riding my commuter bike on actual bike rides. I started doing some local rides like up to Hawk Hill, just spending more time on the bike, not going somewhere, not with a backpack on. And I really enjoyed it. I don't know if you guys can hear right now, but there are a lot of roosters crowing right now. So apologies if that's in the audio. After a couple months of riding my bike around the city for fun, I started getting into bike YouTube. I've always been a big YouTube guy. I grew up skateboarding, longboarding, huge video culture. My girlfriend will tell you that whenever I'm not talking to her or working, I'm pretty much on YouTube. And I started to get the itch, so guys like Dan Jones, VC Let's Get It, all their stuff was super cool. Seeing cycling be like not quite the same snobbery, making kind of wearing all the tight shit cool, definitely eased me into it. And then Black Friday came along, and I saw a bike on sale, very on sale, and it caught me at the peak of riding my commuter bike around the city and enjoying that. And so I went and I did a test ride, and I walked away with a bike. So kind of covered why I'm getting into cycling. Sorry, there's a big boat. Let that bad boy go by. As for why YouTube and why now, I mentioned I've always been a big fan. I've been on YouTube since I was like 13. I've made a couple videos when I was a teenager. Good luck to you if you can find them. I've filmed on and off random stuff on GoPros, on other cameras, basically my whole life, and never really turned it into a project. And now I'm a little bit older and a little bit better at finishing things and slightly less embarrassed to be on camera. So we're gonna see how this goes. My mentality is we got to get through all the bad stuff. We got to work through every video, grind it out, get better each time. And, hopefully this turns into content worth watching. And I have some exciting life stuff coming up. I'll talk more about it in later videos because there are some key parties that I have not told yet. But stay tuned for those. It's going to be a really cool year for me. So what kind of videos can you expect? It's going to be a lot about cycling, my transition into riding a bike, starting as a beginner in road cycling, things I learn, things I like, things I don't like, little adventures I go on. There'll also be some travel. As part of my work, I get to travel. And then, like I mentioned, I do have some big life updates coming up, so stay tuned for those. And then I guess whatever I want to put in here, it's supposed to be fun. I'm going to try and keep it fun, and the rest we'll figure out together. I'm going to try and keep it to a 2-week cadence for the videos. I also bought a 360 camera, so I apologize in advance for all the terrible edits that you may see. A couple of miscellaneous things. I am Canadian. I grew up in Ontario, small town Ontario, not Toronto. Also not that small of a town, but not Toronto. I studied engineering in Canada, and that's what brought me out to San Francisco.